That helps me to sync later because I don't have like a clapper or whatever the clapper board, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
But if I just do that, then I can sync to that later.
Yeah. Clap on, clap off the clapper. Remember that was like the future. The clapper.
Yeah, I never had one, but I mean, it's kind of neat.
I didn't know anybody that had one, but I felt like this is like, I don't know, it seemed like the future.
That was like a running gag in The Sopranos. Was like old people on the show would have clappers,
Yeah. That's a show that I've only seen a few episodes of, but I feel like I need to watch more. And I've actually talked to my wife a bit about it, saying like we should just settle in and watch this over the course of, I don't know, however long it takes. Because there's like 6 seasons of that. Yeah, that feels doable.
It is, and the only thing I would say about Sopranos is, because there's some shows where I'd say like, well, this is a good show, but the first season kind of sucks or things like that, Like, and my opinion on this is not the norm, but with the exception of like because when they made The Sopranos, they made the first episode as like a pilot to try to get HBO to buy it, I guess. And then they didn't make another episode for like at least a year. And so the first episode of The Sopranos has kind of a different vibe. So I don't really like the first episode that much, but the whole rest of the first season I love. But it seems like most Sopranos fans would rate the first season kind of down the list a little bit. But I think season 1's my favorite season. So, but I think it's just funnier. Like, because I think I've said this before, but Sopranos is a black comedy, not really a, it's a drama too, but it's got a lot of black comedy in it. And there's more of that in the first season. I think after that, it gets more like dramatic and stuff. And like, that's okay. But
they just try to lean into it more.
Yeah. I just think the first season's great. So I'm saying don't watch just the first episode because it has a different, it's just a little bit different. But like the second episode is awesome,
Yeah. Do they, is it very apparent that it was a year later? Do they does everybody look a little bit different?
Well, the kids do. Right, because it has, Tony Soprano's got 2 kids, and I think what's her name, Jamie Lynn Siegler or whatever, plays his daughter, and I mean, I don't know if this is funny or sad, but you can tell that between shooting the first episode and the second episode, she got a nose job, which I just think that kind of sucks because I mean,
which is weird because she was really young at the time,
right?
Too,
She's still a child. Like, what are you getting a nose? That's kind of sad, I think, but. Yeah. Anyway, Hey, so I don't think it's going to come through on camera. I think I got it cleaned up enough, but my basement is in a state of near complete disarray, and it's kind of a little bit. It's like most things in life, there's not one cause of any. We don't live in a black and white world, Yeah. So it's not 100% your fault. But it's partially your fault that my basement is the way it is right now.
Is it because are you trying to simplify things, or are you trying to
that's part
streamline
of it.
Or get rid of things?
Yes, that's part of it, but that's not the part of it that's your fault. The part of it that's your fault is all those games you sent me.
So you're checking some of them out at least.
Not yet,
or you just
okay. But no, this is kind of all being done to that end, though.
Oh, really?
I just don't have a comfortable place to sit and play games, especially like modern games. Mm-hmm. So,
right.
So I'm revamping my what was, I'll say, my office upstairs. Yeah. I'm kind of now turning it into like a gaming / TV room.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
that's cool.
Because that's part of it, is like having a place to comfortably play games and stuff. But like the other thing is like ever since we got rid of the TV in the living room, there's not really a place for like my wife and I to like watch TV together or watch movies together. And so like, I end up like I watch movies on my iPad, and then I feel bad because I'm like, oh, I could be watching this with my wife right now, but how?
Yeah. And also on a beautiful OLED screen.
That helps.
4K probably,
definitely.
Right?
Yeah, yeah. I was watching some hockey playoffs and some baseball last night. Because yesterday, that's the first day I had the TV set up upstairs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's only 40 inches, but it is an OLED 4K TV. But I mean, this is just this room is the size of like a standard bedroom, like not a master bedroom, but a standard bedroom. So I mean, a 40-inch TV is the size wise is fine. Like I don't think I'd want something bigger. Like it's a good size.
What has become of your living room then? The actual living room?
Well, there's just we have a stereo in there, set up in there, like a nice stereo cabinet. Like that's where the main stereo system is. Yeah. But then like right now there's just like a couple chairs in there. Like we need to buy a couch. Like we got rid of our couch and we're intending to buy a new couch and we just haven't gotten around to doing it.
Yeah. So would you say, are you planning on putting a TV in there as well at some point?
I don't think so. Of course I'm getting a phone call now that I didn't put my sorry. I silencioed my phone there. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not open to it, but I kind of like not having a TV in the living room, especially because it's like our living room and our dining room is kind of like one big. I mean, it's two rooms, but it feels like one big room. Mm-hmm. And I just don't really want a TV in there, but I don't know. There's like a nice fireplace in there, and that's sort of like the focal point of the room. And I don't really want to have a big. Could
you mount the TV like over the fireplace?
I hate that.
Okay.
I'm very anti that. So yeah, that's not going to happen. But I'm
just wondering because if you wanted to watch movies with your wife, instead of having her have to go into, like your office room.
But that's what I'm saying. It's not an office room anymore. It's like the desk is gone. Like I'm turning it into like, I got
like
this.
a den.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Instead of it's not a living room, it's just like a den where it's like, all right, this is the entertainment den.
Right.
We can go in there and we can watch
because there's a nice
together.
stereo in there too, and then the TV, and then like chair, and like, it's just a nice place to hang out, and once everything's all set up, I'll show my wife how to use it, and then, even if she wants to watch something by herself or whatever, she can go do so, I want that to be like a TV room for everybody.
Yeah, and then you don't have to have a TV anywhere else. It's just interesting because I've been thinking about this a lot. Where I guess in like the last 5 years or so, maybe 6 years, I have like added so much stuff into my entertainment setup and everything that I've like overcomplicated things to the point where I am not getting nearly as much out of it as I used to, when it was just like, all right, less is more. But at the same time, like by removing your like a regular TV from everything, essentially, it has like overcomplicated it to the point in the opposite direction where you don't. For me. Yes, yeah. That's
yeah, definitely. Yes, it made it like
impossible. If we want to watch something together, it's like a whole process.
Yes,
instead of like just having like a place you can go to do this stuff. So you're kind of like melding like the old and the new.
Yeah. To
come up with something that is just, I guess, works better for you and isn't so annoying. And that's a lot of what I've been doing down here.
Yeah.
It's just kind of. I tried to set things up where it takes account for every variable situation, and in doing so I've just like run so many wires and cables and stuff that and I'm not using any of that stuff that I just would rather simplify it. And if I wanted to do something that I cannot do anymore, then I can just run a temporary cable for it.
Yeah.
For the limited amount of time that I want to do it.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
But
like,
then
it's
now,
just like, I guess you get so caught up in, like, I want to do something. I want to do something more. I want to build more on top of like what I have. And it's just,
see, that's the problem. That's the problem I think I've run into down here in the basement is exactly what you just said. Because now down here, like I have, the desk I'm sitting at right now, which I love this desk. But then, at some point, I put a second table down here over to my left, and that's where the TV was.
Yeah.
But originally that was going to be like, oh, I'm going to do magazine read-throughs, and that's why I'm going to have a dedicated desk for that. And then it turned into not that. And then I'm going to put a TV over here. And then like the tables just got like, game consoles and crap all over it. And, I do these things with like the best of intentions. It's always like, well, if I'm going to set things up so that it's easier for me to be like productive and whatnot. But I feel like it ends up having the opposite effect because I come down here and it's so like cluttered, because I keep putting stuff down here, and you just come down here and it doesn't feel like the kind of space where I want to be like hanging out and doing stuff that's creative. And that bears, that's borne out in the fact that, look at the output that I've had in the last couple of years, like not a lot.
Same here.
So, but part of it too, and I've talked about this before, is that, I bought that iMac however many years ago to edit on. But then right after that, Apple started making their own CPUs, which are way better for doing video editing. And so, because that's what I had set up upstairs. Upstairs is where I did all my editing and whatnot. But, lately, I mean, mind you, I haven't made any of my quote unquote big episodes on it, but I've been doing like every episode of Weekend Rental has been edited on my MacBook.
Yeah. And is it a Pro?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's
so,
like it's like the first generation of MacBook Pro with the Apple chips in it. So it's got the M1 Pro in it. Yeah. So, and even that is like screaming fast. So if I got like a newer one, I'm sure it'd be even better, but I don't have any need to do that. I mean, because I've been, lately I've been releasing the Weekend Rental episodes in 4K, and that computer's not having a problem with that. And so I'm kind of like, do I really need this big iMac anymore? Like it's just kind of taking
because you could run that right into a TV, and it probably has an HDMI out, like full size HDMI out on it.
It does, but I don't know if you remember, if I told you my work was getting rid of an Apple Thunderbolt display.
Oh, okay. So you can just run that right into it.
Yeah, I bought a Thunderbolt 2 to Thunderbolt 3 adapter. And then I can plug. So I could have a setup where I can just plug my laptop in. Yeah. And I can have my little RAID array there, and I can just import media as like proxy, so that because that way I can edit on the go if I want to. But I don't know. We'll see. I
mean, I recently got that MacBook Pro M3. It's not a M3 Pro. I don't know if there's like it's a MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
But it has an M3 in it. I don't know if there's like a M3 Pro chip.
I'm not sure. I'm not
or if there was at one point, but I got it for real cheap at a pawn shop, and 16 gigs of RAM, and it's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing. The thing that gets me about it is that the battery like lasts forever.
Yeah.
I feel like I could, if I'm not doing anything like real like heavy on it.
Yeah.
I bet I could charge it one time a week and it would be fine. And that's like with regular usage.
That's crazy.
Like I could sit an entire evening, like on the internet, just like, if I'm up in the living room, just doing whatever. And I think I could sit there and it would go down, the battery would go down like 5% the entire time, like an entire evening of doing that. It's pretty insane. And I really like it a lot. And it's a 14-inch. How big is yours?
14. But it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect size.
Yeah, I don't want to lug around
really
a huge,
portable.
Yeah,
and I think that anything bigger would almost be
just not
silly.
It's just not needed. I was tempted. Our friend Todd, your neighbor Todd, Retro Frog, Todd. I don't know if he still has it, but he was selling in his Discord. He had an M3 Pro Mac Pro that he was selling for like $900 shipped.
Oh, really?
And I was kind of tempted. Only reason I didn't do it is it only has a 500 gigabyte internal hard drive.
That's what mine has too. But I got
the one I have now has a terabyte.
Portable.
And I don't want to be any lower than that.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I have mine because I just got it at a pawn shop. It has just a 512 gig SSD in it.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't care
like
except that you can't
SSD.
Can't upgrade it yourself. So
yeah, that's true. But I just got an external one. I guess got a 4 terabyte external.
Oh yeah, I'm not criticizing. I'm saying if I could buy his and I could upgrade the internal memory, then I would be tempted to, but you can't. So
right, you can't put a bigger SSD in it, right?
Right, because it's all like soldered to the main board because it only has one board in it. So
right.
Anyway, this episode of Here's My Question for You is not sponsored by Apple, although if they ever wanted to, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, they want to send us
some
like
big Apple money,
Mac Studio, whatever, like the.
Well, that's why
$10,000.
Oh, yeah,
Mac Studios.
That's the Mac Pro, yeah, the new Mac Pro.
Well, the Mac Studios, if you deck it out, it's like $10,000.
Oh, well, you could say that about any Mac Pro. You could probably get a MacBook Air up there pretty high if you really wanted to.
That's true. But yeah, I mean, it's just that people have probably heard a lot about like how good their M chips are.
Yeah.
But it's like the real deal. Like they are. Like they're just so good. And if you're not going to be playing games on it,
yeah,
like I can't. If you have no interest in playing games on a laptop, I see no reason why not to get an Apple laptop over anything else.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I always shy away from talking about that too much because people are like, "Oh, you're just an Apple fanboy." I'm really not. I mean, I used Windows forever. I still have a Windows PC, but it's just like Apple stuff costs more, but I'd say I usually get about 10 years out of any Apple product that I buy.
Yeah, and you know what? It's good. It's good. Just like admit that people should just admit that they did a really good job with it. It's just like it's. But
I would also say
that we're saying so. It's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
If you could buy a Windows laptop that was sort of constructed to the same quality as a MacBook Pro, that would be great.
Yes.
But like I had a work laptop that was, an expensive Dell laptop because it was supposed to be their nice one, and it was just a piece of crap. But then I asked the IT guy, I'm like, well, is there some other brand? Like, is there something that's like good? And he's like, yeah, not really. And that's the IT guy. So that guy, he's got no love lost for Apple stuff because, IT guys are all, into Windows, at least in my experience.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I have a friend who works in IT, and he basically hates almost all Apple stuff, except for I don't know how he feels about the new stuff. The only thing he was like, for the longest time, he'd only begrudgingly give them props for like the MagSafe power adapter.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, it's really, really good. I wish that everybody else would do something like that.
Those are pretty nice, though.
But but I wonder what he thinks about these. He probably doesn't care.
Yeah.
But
so hey, anyway, you're listening to episode 59 of Here's My Question for You. First episode in about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, since January.
I'll take the hit for that's mostly because of me, I would say. A little bit of you.
Well, yeah, it's I mean, it's
I'll say it's like 75-25 though, at least in my direction,
Well, yeah, it's interesting because I mean, maybe it started off that way, but I feel like it's become more me in like the last month or so. It's been really hard to feel positive and creative about almost anything. Yeah. I mean, I've been really struggling with a kind of a creative block.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to stay positive in a crumbling world.
Let's give people an escape from that by not talking about it here.
But it's just been very difficult to feel positive and excited about.
Hey, you know what might help you with that? Golf. You should try golfing.
Yeah.
I'm having a
good
time.
You know what? I will definitely make it a point to at least
just
get out to the driving range this summer.
Just look for a cheap Southwest flight and just come hang out here for like a week. That's what you need to do. We'll go golfing,
I could say the same for you.
Like
I think that you could come here.
I could. But
Yeah, it's I mean, what was that? I sent you I send you shows that are happening here all the time.
Yeah, but that same show is happening here at the Greek Theater in Berkeley.
Why wouldn't it be?
I
know, but I don't think my wife would want to go there also.
Why?
We'd have to find
What?
You know, like a place for the kids to stay for several.
Don't your in-laws live
days.
like close by? Wouldn't they like to spend some time
they're
with their
2 hours away, and they could do that.
Yeah. So
but you know,
make that happen.
I will say though, I mean, we already got tickets for this. I think I had mentioned it before, but I don't think I've confirmed it with you.
Okay.
But we're taking our kids to see Weird Al in September.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he's playing like 5 minutes away from here.
Wow. I've only seen him in concert once, but he does an excellent show.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
And I've heard that, you know, it's just it just like puts on such a great show, and he's like does all these crazy costume changes and stuff. And I think it's going to be really fun. My son doesn't like listen to a lot of, I guess, like a lot of non-parody music these days. Like he's real into like these songs about Fortnite and stuff like that, or these like joke songs. So I feel like it's going to be right up his alley. And it might be a situation where he hears something, he's like, oh, either I know the song, or oh, like what is this song? And I'm like, well, here's the real version of it if you want to listen to it.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
So I think that it's going to be pretty good. My daughter's kind of the wild card on that. I don't know if she'll be annoyed with it or if she'll think it's real cool. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, we're all four of us are going. So
yeah, no, that sounds awesome.
When you saw him, like how long ago was it? And
it was a long time. It was in like maybe like 1999.
Oh wow. Okay, so that's like, is that like all about the Pentiums era?
Is it? It might even be before. I'm not sure.
Is it like the what's the Star Wars Episode 1?
Oh no, he definitely had that.
Okay.
Because he changes into like a Jedi outfit before he sings that one.
And he made that before, I think. Yeah. Before the movie.
He did. He
came out.
He made that completely just from like looking at like trailers and reading spoilers online, and like he didn't have any inside info, and he pretty much nailed it. As far as
I feel like I heard something about how he had to go to Lucasfilm like before it came out, and like maybe had them check it, and they like had him change like a couple of words or something to it or something.
I mean, I've never heard that, but that's totally possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to go. He came to the campus where I work just a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And because he went on this tour where it was like a different kind of deal. It was more like, you remember they used to have that show on VH1 called Storytellers?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So he did something like that, but he just went on tour and did it instead of doing it for TV. And so he was telling stories about his songs and then he would sing it and whatever. And I really wanted to go, but I couldn't get anybody to go with me. Like, you know, it's funny because I always talk about, you know, my wife. Like, my wife's always down to do anything, you know, pretty much. But
it's
like
over the line for.
Well, Weird Al just gives her the creeps. Which I mean, she didn't grow up with him, so it's like, you know, she just has more of an unbiased, you know, and she just thinks she's just like that. Weird Al's just not for her, and so I'm like,
I could see
she's
how
not going to enjoy herself, and so I didn't push it, you know. But I just didn't want to go by myself, so I just didn't go.
I could see a situation where, you know, if you just saw him out of context without any knowledge, you would be like, there's something like real creepy about him, like, because I mean, like his hair and like it's always, I don't know, he kind of looks like a 70s porn star in a way.
Well, maybe. I mean, he also kind of looks like a clown without clown makeup on, and like she really doesn't like clowns. I mean, although I
get that.
I've still never really met anybody that liked clowns. Like, I know plenty of people that think clowns are creepy. I've never met anybody who was like a clown enthusiast.
Yeah, where they think
I don't know
clowns are hilarious. I've never. I mean, I've never thought that clowns are funny.
Yeah, not usually. No, I don't know.
I mean, they're just.
I mean, no offense if there's any clowns listening right now. I just, you know, your humor is just not on my wavelength. Same thing for mimes, really.
Yeah, I mean, they're very similar.
Yes.
I mean, mimes are French clowns, essentially, right?
That's how I would characterize them. Yes.
I wonder what came first, though.
I don't know. That's a very good question. Hey, so I know this is not fresh in your memory anymore, but since the last time we recorded, you did watch The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly.
Yeah.
If you,
did we not talk about it in the last one?
I don't think so.
I feel like we talked about it.
Well,
It was
I've
an
got
awesome
my
movie.
notes from the last one here in front of me. What do we got here? Hydrox versus Oreos, Top Gun, Pat Finnerty, overplayed MTV songs, Bob Uecker, Dip. I don't even know what that means. Severance, True
Is that like
Grit.
Dip? Is that like
Oh, maybe I think you would watch True
chewing
Grit
tobacco?
because I've got that written down here.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was about you telling me I needed to go make French onion dip. Mayonnaise, CD cases, Skyflakes, vitamins, Fibbage. What does that mean?
Fibbage. Yeah, that's the that's the Jackbox game you can play.
I that is the worst named game I've. Jackbox is awful.
Well, I mean that's the point.
Is it?
I think
Okay,
is supposed to sound
anyway. So according to my notes, is my
sexual.
point. We have not talked about, and you don't. I mean, no pressure if you don't want to. I wanted to give you the opportunity. If you wanted to talk about it.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's awesome. It was so good. I think about it pretty often actually because I just thought it was that good, and I'm a little ashamed that it took me so long to see it. It's just like it's a gorgeous film. I went out and I paid full price for the 4K.
You bought the 4K Blu-ray?
Yeah. Or yeah.
Oh wow.
I mean that's
because
I couldn't find it on any streaming services, and I was like, it's $24.
Yeah,
I might as well. You know, and I mean, so that's not technically full price. It was whatever it was on sale for at the time, but
I mean, it's not like you rented it for $3.99 on Amazon. Is the point,
right?
I think. Yeah.
Just like a phenomenal movie. It totally like lived up to the hype. What was amazing about it is that I was not expecting it to be a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, it's a little on the long side.
It is, and I had to watch it over the course of 2 nights because it really just takes its time.
Yeah,
like there's no dialogue in that movie. Like there's no words in that movie for like over the first 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it's just like people looking at each other for a long time. But it's funny because like the Ugly like owns that movie.
Yeah,
I feel like he is the best part.
You're talking about the Eli Wallach character?
Yeah.
Tuco.
I mean, he just like yes. Yeah. Tuco. He owns the movie, I think.
Yeah.
And he's the best part about it, the most fun to watch.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I was not expecting the man with no name to kind of be on the verge of death for half of the movie too.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like he was the kind of person that, he's very set in his ways and is like just things kind of like work out for him. But I mean, he comes pretty close to dying a lot.
Yeah.
In the movie. Things don't work out very well for him for a lot of it.
Yeah. Well,
but like the soundtrack was so good. What I liked about it, I mean, I understand that it's like a, it's a classic. People say it's a classic soundtrack.
Yeah.
But the thing that got me about it, and is that it's almost like so like lo-fi and loud that it almost peaks on the audio levels.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like blown out.
Yes.
And I feel like that really like works in its favor. It makes it sound like so much more gritty.
Yeah.
And bombastic. That's one of my favorite parts. And just the way that it kicks in and it's just like so loud.
Yeah.
All the time. And how like literally anytime something cool happens, it does like the little like whistle, like the the wah wah wah. It's just like anytime something like remotely cool happens.
Yeah. Can I just say, I don't know if this is a hot take or not.
Okay.
But in my opinion, the Ecstasy of Gold, which is like one of the two most famous, that's probably the two most famous tracks or whatever from the soundtrack, right? There's the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly that plays, in the opening, and then there's the Ecstasy of Gold when, Tuco's running around the cemetery. That, in my opinion, that's the greatest piece of musical score ever, single piece ever written.
Because it's a lot slower, right?
I mean, I wouldn't say
I'm
that.
I'm trying to, because I can sort of hear it in my mind, but I don't.
Well, I don't want to get us in trouble, you know.
Yeah,
we're not,
we're not.
You know, anybody can
We're
go
not in
look
the
it up.
practice
It's
of
just
doing
type
that.
Ecstasy of Gold, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. It's, you know, like I said, that's like that's when the movie kind of comes to its crescendo, you know. And Tuco's running around, you know, looking for, and it's like 4 minutes or whatever of no dialogue, footage or whatever, you know, film time of him just, you know, running around like, you know, because he's got like the gold, you know, you got the ecstasy of gold, right? Looking around for, you know, I love it. It's better than, you know, anything John Williams is probably the greatest, I would say. You know, it's the Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus argument, you know, like John Williams has the greatest career, but, you know, I'll take Ecstasy of Gold over Jaws or anything out of Star Wars, or, you know, and those are all amazing soundtracks as well, though.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you should watch if you haven't seen Unforgiven yet, you should watch.
Yeah, I
think that's the greatest Western,
and I want to
movie
see Fistful of Dollars, and
those are,
is it a fistful more? Like I know that those are not quite as
a few dollars more in Fistful.
A few dollars, yes.
Those are okay, but
I mean, some people will say that they're better because they're just better paced. They're not so long.
Yeah, I think if you were going to watch another classic Clint Eastwood Western, though, I'd watch Outlaw Josie Wales.
Okay,
I'd watch that before
I'm pretty
the
sure
other
that one's getting a
$2.
4K or already has one.
Yeah, but Unforgiven is the greatest Western movie ever made, I think. So you should watch that.
Interesting, but it's not the same character, but it's supposed to be like the it's like a send off for.
I mean, kind of.
Right?
It's not the same character, but it's.
You could interpret it being the same character.
No, it's just like the whole point of the Unforgiven is it's sort of like, I saw Clint Eastwood explain it one time, but, you know, it's like he made all these movies where, you know, he's just, you know, killing people and, you know, and this is kind of like, you know, now in Unforgiven, his character is this old man who's lived this whole life as a horrible person, killing lots of people and, you know, having to sort of, you know, deal with that or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Like he meant that as sort of, you know, an epilogue to the other movies that he made, sort of in that tone, you know. Because, you know, the whole point, and I don't want to ruin Unforgiven, but the character in Unforgiven, it's like he's put that life behind him and you know, he's trying to just live this quiet life as a, you know, family man on a farm or whatnot, and he kind of just ends up getting sucked back in, and it just turns out that he's still the same person that he always was, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't view that in a positive way, you know.
Right.
It doesn't, like, that movie does not glorify violence at all. It's very violent, but it's not glorified at all.
Yeah, like he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, I would say so.
He just got pulled into a situation where, I mean, it's like any sort of, I don't know. I played a lot of the Yakuza games, and you know, that's all about where, even if you try to like leave that life behind, you know, you get pulled back in, and the people that you care about will never know peace as long as you're part of their life.
Yeah.
Which is
also, you know, it's got Unforgiven's got Gene Hackman. That's one of Gene Hackman's better perform. I mean, Gene Hackman was great in everything he ever did, but I'm saying he plays Sheriff Little Bill Daggett. Yeah. Morgan Freeman's in there.
Oh, yeah. Morgan Freeman, who is, I feel like, been old forever.
Yeah.
I feel... Does that make sense? Like, he's somebody that from the first time I can remember,
I feel like he's always looked
like
the same age, and he's always had a touch of gray in his hair, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even in something like, he is in Glory, right?
Yeah.
And, I mean, even in that, like, he looks old. And the thing is he's probably,
By now,
our
he's
age
probably.
now.
I mean, in that
he is
movie,
now, but
yeah.
I'm saying, but like in Glory, like he's probably our age that we are now.
Yeah, if that.
If that, yeah.
I mean, we're pretty
I
old.
was watching last night, speaking of like old people, like people that I feel like are young but look old.
You were watching Oh God starring George Burns.
No.
That's a good example, though. George Burns was born old.
Yeah. Well, that's.
All right.
I've only seen a couple of his movies. What was it like? Is he in that movie? Like, had a monkey in it. Was it like a monkey movie? Is it had? I don't remember.
You're not thinking of the Clint Eastwood movie, are you? Every Which Way.
I
But
don't
Loose,
think I'm thinking of
where
the
he
Clint
has the
Eastwood. I was
orangutan?
thinking like I was going back and forth. Like, am I thinking of the Clint Eastwood movie? But I feel like there is a movie with George Burns and a monkey.
There may very well be.
So I had never seen it.
Okay.
And I'd only heard about it, like talked about.
Yeah.
And never seen it. And I know that like he's he's dead now, but like I'd never seen it. I was scrolling through like the Amazon, like now showing stuff like where they just like show, they have different channels. It's like a Pluto TV type feature for it.
I didn't know Amazon had that.
Yeah, they have things that just show that. But I found out they had like a station that just shows No Reservations, the Anthony Bourdain. Yeah. And I had never seen it before.
Oh.
And I like was up real late last night, just like continuing to watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
But what is that? Is that what you were getting at?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know how old he was when he made that, or like how old he was when he died.
Yeah.
But I mean, he has like very gray hair.
Yeah.
And he looks like he could be old, but I feel like he's probably in his early 50s.
I mean, I think if you look at, I can't remember. I think the first book you wrote, I think was called Kitchen Confidential. And if you look at the cover of that book, that's the only time I've ever seen him look young. But I agree. I feel like I agree with you that ever since he started doing like TV stuff, he's always looked kind of, middle aged, but maybe he was the whole time. I don't know.
Yeah. It's such a weird thing because he looks old, but also like young at the same time. And he's probably like in his early 50s, like probably less than 10 years older than I am now.
Yeah. How old are you again?
But then I'm 46.
Wow. I'm turning 48 this month.
Oh.
Yeah.
So not a huge gap.
Oh, no. I wasn't, that was not what I was trying to say.
I know. Well, that's exciting.
I guess.
Are you excited about it? 48 is just that's a good age.
I'm going to be 50 soon, but that's fine. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
People freak out the older they get, but to me, it's just like I'm just that much closer to retiring. That's going to be my second. My second heyday is going to be my retirement. So,
yeah.
Hey, did we talk about? I'm changing the subject. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Did we talk? I don't think we had because I don't think it had happened yet the last time. That sale that I went to where I got all that stuff.
Oh no! I mean I mean we did a call. We should have just recorded that call. That's what we should have done. But
I think I talked to you after I went the first time.
Right, but you showed me a picture of what you got the second time.
Yeah, but did I tell you what happened after that picture?
About the. No, I don't think so.
Sorry, this just really sticks in my craw. So let me just start from scratch, just for people at home.
Yeah.
So, there's like a somebody that I don't know. I don't want to out the guy, but there's somebody that runs a sort of a retro computing business that lives in the same area that I do, and I've done business with the guy a couple times before. Like he sold. When I did that PC Engine golf games video. I needed a copy of the PC Engine CD Jack Nicklaus game, not the U.S. version, the Japanese version, because it's different. And I found a copy on eBay, and I saw that it was local to me, and so I just, can I come pick it up? Oh yeah, sure, come on over, because the guy's got like an office and everything, like
right,
like it's like legit business, And anyway, he had posted online that he was going to have this big yard sale. And I was like, well, I'm going to go to that, And so I went to that, and I bought a bunch, mostly PC Engine stuff that he had. You know, I mean, the guy's like a huge collector. I mean, kind of to the point of maybe being a little bit of a hoarder.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's the reason he was having it, right? You said that,
yeah, but I mean, he had like
pod storage units, right?
Like he had like 3 pods set up in the parking lot behind his office, and those were all full of stuff. And then the area in front of the pods had more stuff like spread out on the ground, and then he had it all like fenced off with like that orange plastic temporary fencing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a ton of stuff. And so I went over there and I bought I mean, I guess the highlight, I don't remember what else. The highlights to me were I got a Super Graphics and I got a PC Engine briefcase unit, you know, without the PC Engine because I don't need any more PC Engines, but I got the briefcase unit and the CD drive. Which I'm waiting to have serviced until Fenris gets back from Japan.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a bunch of games, and I'm probably leaving some other stuff out, but it was like a 3-day sale. So I went like Friday morning, and then I went again on Sunday just because I was bored. And I bought a few more things. And I'm only bringing this up because I have this sitting on my desk, and it just reminded me of it. So I went back on Sunday, and I bought some more stuff, and I posted the pictures on Blue Sky, and then this guy, and I always thought the guy, he seemed like he was a cool guy. I don't know what his deal was, but somebody linked him to the pictures that I put on Blue Sky, and he went and looked at the pictures, and then publicly, like, he responded to my comment and accused me of stealing from him.
What?
Yeah. Because like I said, I'd bought a bunch of stuff from him, and he didn't see 2 things. Because like the way it works, nothing's priced. So you just get whatever you want, put it in a bag, put it in a box, and you just hand him the box, and he goes through it and shoots you a price.
Yeah.
So he did, and I paid him what he asked for, and then I went home and spread it all out on the floor, and took a picture. And in there, so I got this is like a
just Japanese PS1.
Just Japanese PS1 memory card. They came in these little boxes. I got this, and I got a Pocket Station.
Yeah. And
he accused me of stealing them because he says those weren't in the box. And I'm like, yeah, man, everything was in the box, man. I came home and emptied the box on the floor and just took a picture. Like
all that stuff, like why would you steal those?
Right.
If you're going to steal something, like why would you steal?
Right. I bought so much stuff from that guy.
And Japanese PS1 memory card.
And the thing is, like, I had private messaged him on the forums and stuff. Like he had plenty of ways to privately contact me and say like, hey, I think there might have been a misunderstanding, or I didn't see those, or whatever. But instead, he just calls me out on Blue Sky and calls me like a thief.
That's so
And then because I'm trying to have some class, like I privately message him on the forums and say, hey, there must have been a misunderstanding. I assure you, everything was in the box. If I need to pay you, some additional money to make you whole, just let me know. And part of it is just like, I feel like because I'm, as you are, sort of a public figure in our little niche space that we're in. Mm-hmm. I don't need somebody accusing me of theft, right?
Yeah.
And this is part of the reason that it bothered me is like somebody else bought something from him and they got home and it didn't work. And so they left like a reply in his sale post, because he made a post on the forums about he was having the sale, and so he just says like, hey, I got home and like this Vectrex isn't working. Is there anything, that we could do about that? And he's like, sorry, man, this is like a garage sale. So all sales are just final and as is. Right. So he wasn't going to help that guy. But then like, I buy like $400 or $500 of stuff from this guy. And then he's like, oh, I didn't charge you for those 2 small items. Right. And so I'm like, like I said, I could have just as easily said to him.
And how is he keeping track of this in his head anyways?
I don't know. I really don't know. Because I cannot understate or overstate how much stuff he had. But so anyway, so he leaves that thing, and my whole thing is like, I am not going to be, publicly accused of being a thief. Like, I don't need that, right? Because, there's people out there that would just be like, oh, I'm going to go make a video about a classic gaming corridor he stole from somebody kind of thing,
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, because I could have just said to the guy, I'm like, hey, man, everything was in the box. I'm sorry that you didn't charge me correctly. That's your problem. I could have. Right. But I'm like, well,
right.
I don't need the heat. Right. And so then like I private message the guy and I'm like, hey, I don't know how this happened or whatever. If I owe you more money, just let me know. And so then, no apology, no nothing. He's like, yeah, you owe me this much money for those 2 items. And he basically charged me like just full eBay retail price for both of them. And so I'm like, whatever. And so I just paid him, but then I responded to his message and I told him exactly how I felt about how he'd handled it. Like, I wasn't rude, but I was like, I really don't appreciate, the way you handled this. We've done business before. I don't know why you would think I would steal from you as a sort of a public figure and then go post pictures of the stuff. Like, what do you think I'm like? Basically, you either think I'm an idiot or a liar,
Yeah.
No response, no apology.
Or he's just
nothing.
feeling like, I don't know, like sad and upset that like he decided like after like he's felt sad that he got rid of all this stuff after the
fact. Or I think maybe he had remorse that he's like I could have charged, because he was letting stuff go pretty cheap. I mean, I got a Super Graphics for like $100,
Yeah.
But I didn't offer that. That's what he wanted, And maybe he was having regret that he wasn't making as much money as he thought that he would, or he was regretting selling the stuff. But, it really left a bad taste in my mouth, because now I look at some of this stuff and I'm like, oh, yeah, this is the thing I got accused of stealing. Why?
Yeah. Like, why is
and
that
it's just
the stuff
like,
that
if he had made a
steal?
mistake, or if he thought, you said you didn't have that, or just message me privately at least. Like, go do that first and say, hey, I think
just like
we had a miscommunication. Like, I didn't know you had those items. Would you mind paying for them? And then if I give him pushback, then fine, go put me on blast.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or just be like, whatever. It's just a Pocket Station and a Japanese PS1 memory card.
Yeah.
That you'll... Like, I mean, you might use the Pocket Station, but you're probably not going to use that memory card.
I just thought it was neat.
I bet you got it because it's in that box.
That's exactly why I got it. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's in its original box, But I ended up paying $30 for that, which I never. If I had been there and he's like, yeah, it's $30, I'd have been like, yeah, I'm good.
You would been no.
I mean, I think you might have been pissed too, because like, I don't know. I feel like he was giving out really good deals on Friday, and then on Sunday I had a way bigger box of stuff. And then he quoted me a price that was like insane.
Yeah.
Because he kind of had this deal that like any complete in the box game is $15. But it didn't matter if it was something that was worth a bunch of money or if it was something that was worthless. And I had grabbed all these old sports games that I thought looked neat. And he's like, well, those are all $15 a piece. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go put this stuff back. But I wasn't like rude to him. I was like, oh, that's,
it's just not,
I'm going to have to go ahead and put some of this stuff back because it was just stuff that I thought looked neat. But
well, you weren't going to pay more for things that like are like a couple of $1 games.
Right.
Like, like that's good what he is doing, just saying, because that just goes to show that he really just wanted to get rid of a lot of it.
Yeah.
And
well, that seems like on Friday he wanted to get rid of a lot of it. And then on Sunday, because there was other stuff, because I asked him when he charged the high, I'm like, I said, I just grabbed stuff I thought looked neat. Are there certain things here that I grabbed that are worth a lot of money that I didn't know about? And he was pulling stuff out and goes like, well, that's this much and that's that much. And a lot of what he was quoting was eBay price. Like I got some kind of like special edition version of Tokimeki Memorial for the Saturn that comes in like this bigger package. And he's like, well, yeah, that's like $40. And I was like, well, whatever. And then I came home and looked it up, and that's what it is on eBay. So it's, I grabbed it again because of Tim Rogers.
Yeah. I have a version of the Saturn one also. That's getting a translation finally. Like
is it
the
though?
Saturn version is. Yeah.
Is this going to be like Boku no Natsuyasumi all over again, where we get teased with a translation that doesn't happen?
Well, 2 has one. There's one for 2 out there.
2
for the
what?
PS2. Boku no
No, I want to
Yasumi?
play. I want to play the first one, man. Come on.
Oh, well, I've been playing the spiritual successor to it from the original director.
Yeah.
Like it's on Switch and PC called Natsuman. I've been playing it every morning. It's you can, if you put the time progression to relaxed, it takes about an hour to play like a day. So I've been playing it an hour each day, and then like just for that day.
What console is that on?
It's on Switch and on PC.
Okay,
It's digital only.
Not Suman.
Yeah.
So I'm writing it down.
20th century summer kid or something like that. Also.
All right, I might check it out.
It runs a little rough on the Switch, but I mean, it doesn't really. Doesn't.
I think it's fine. I don't think that's a game that requires.
No.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
It's a little bit more fantastic. I think. I mean, I'm only familiar with that first one. Although I did get the second Boku no Yasumi at Midwest Gaming Classic last year. But it's just a fun way to spend an hour each morning.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm doing it in a way where I'm like not looking anything up at all.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of going and seeing what I can find each day, and whatever like little leads I can I find, I will like elaborate on them further the next day, and it's just kind of a fun, relaxing way to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, so that's kind of a bummer. That's I mean,
I don't know why I really
pretty
brought
high
that
on the experience.
I don't even know why I brought that up, except that like I think it's because I think I told my wife like I'm tired of constantly feeling like I have to be the bigger person in life.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like now he posted in his thread on the forums again that he's going to have a second sale, and it's like everything I have not to go in there and be like, hey, FYI, everybody, this guy accused me of shoplifting publicly.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
Make sure he sees everything, or else he might call you out publicly on.
Yeah.
And like who? I'm wondering, like, why did somebody link them to the?
I don't know, because that's the thing. Because I saw he doesn't follow me because he explains like, yeah, somebody sent me a link to your post, and I'm like, why? Like, cool, but
yeah, but why?
Yeah,
and was other people doing their stuff?
Because it's not like if I had said something in the post like, yeah, I ripped this guy off, or I got I lowballed the crap out of this guy. It's like, no, I just paid whatever he asked.
Yeah, and that was that.
Yeah,
you put stuff back if you didn't have enough money for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like somebody was just trying to get rid of all of this stuff.
Yeah.
And they knew what they had, but they might not have known like everything that they had. Because it's just, if you have 3 pods of stuff,
yeah,
I think it'd be very difficult to know.
Well, it's just like, I mean, that
have.
guy had, I told you, like I said, I got that PC Engine interface unit. I mean, he had like 3 of them.
Right.
I mentioned like he had a stack. There must have been 5 or 6 like laser active units. I mean, the guy just goes to Japan and just hoovers up stuff.
Yeah.
So,
that sucks. It just probably like ruined the entire experience.
I mean, I wouldn't say it ruined it. I ended up with some cool stuff, but it's just like,
But like you said, that stuff is kind of tainted now because
a little bit. But I think especially with that interface unit, once I get that back from Fenris, I think that the excitement of finally having one of those things will assuage any feelings of taint that I might have. I got the replacement gear for it. it's going to get totally recapped.
Mm-hmm. I just sent my my Duo
awesome.
RX to Fenris.
Yeah, what you getting the Voltar mod done to it or what?
No, I'm putting a Turbo Nanza in it.
Oh, I didn't know you could Turbo Nanza a Duo. Well, I guess I don't know.
Yeah,
why
so
not,
there's like another kit that will work in duos.
Oh,
so
I have a regular.
I really
PC
wanted to do
engine
it because I wanted to use S video out.
Right. Yeah.
So I could use the RetroTink 4K's S video, like the enhanced S video,
yes,
which makes it look essentially like RGB.
Yeah.
Like it looks real close, and but you still get that composite palette.
You got to explain to the folks at home the RGB palette versus the composite palette.
Yeah, so I mean, if you have an RGB mod, it like has a palette built in, and sometimes it's not exactly the same. And
like it makes Bonk,
like
Bonk looks orange with the RGB
Bonk looks
palette.
orangish. I mean, the example that really gets used a whole bunch is the game Startling Odyssey, where the sky has several gradients of blue in it, and if you play it like over composite, then you see a whole bunch more like layers of color.
Yeah.
But if you're playing an RGB, then it's just like one solid color or something, or there's two like gradients to it. It's just missing a bunch.
I mean, I feel like the Bonk thing is much more egregious. You know, you're right. Everybody talks about that Startling Odyssey thing, but like, you know, Bonk looks orange instead of Caucasian, you know, with the
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Victory Run's another example. The colors are quite a bit different, but I mean, who wants to play Victory Run anymore, I guess? Except me, of course.
Well, you never know. But yeah, I figured I had this Duo RX that I got several years ago from... I was having issues with my Duo R, and it was done by Dooge and Dance, and Voltar fixed it.
Yeah.
But I just kind of wanted I saw an RX on sale. I wanted something that was just like unmodded in any way.
Sure.
So that I could mod it in the future. So I found somebody who was selling on eBay, and it turned out that they were local.
Oh,
and
nice.
He had a box and everything with it. And I met him in the Target parking lot.
Nice.
And took it. I gave the box a try because I gave him all the console boxes because I don't have room for that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not really into that either.
So I've just like been sitting on this RX for years, not really using it.
Yeah.
But I decided to send it to Fenris, and I got like a region mod switch for it.
Yeah.
And I already had a cap kit for it.
Yeah.
And
then you get the Turbo Nanza there.
And Turbo Nanza, and like that's you know.
Well, you're going to be. He did that exact same thing to my little white PC engine, like region mod, cap kit, Turbo Nanza. You're going to love it. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, even though I have a Super Graphics and I use like the Turbo EverDrive Pro, and I have that. It's like the EDFX that connects to the back so you can get stereo audio from CD games.
Yes.
From there.
Yes.
Like I use that too.
Yeah.
But that I believe uses like the RGB.
Yeah.
Out. Like you don't get the same palette.
Yeah.
So this is just so I can play my original discs and stuff like that if I choose to. Like I know that you said you got an extra. You turned out that one of the games you got from that garage sale was Valis 3, but you already had it.
Yeah, I was going to send that to you.
Right. And I found
Is that your sly way of reminding me that I haven't sent it to you yet? Didn't
no,
you say
not at all.
You were going to
not
send
at all.
me
I was only going to say that because a couple days later, I traded in a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
Like right around probably like 100 games total from my collection to like a local game store to Arcade Legacy. And I'll get into like at first I was just like feeling like I want to get rid of this stuff, and it turns out that was actually a good thing that I traded it all in.
Yeah.
But I didn't. There's nothing I really wanted to get.
Yeah.
But I saw a copy of Valis 2, a U.S. copy of Valis 2, and I was like, oh, I'll get that.
Yeah.
Like with my credit.
I would have to. I think I don't have that one.
Oh, really?
I think I might have had it at one point and gotten. I mean, it's kind of the worst one, I think, but I still shouldn't have gotten rid of it. Yeah,
I really want the remaster or the remake of the first one. Mm-hmm. It's like Japan only. Like Phantasm Soldier or whatever, like Mugen Senshi, whatever. But it turned out all right. Like I guess I could like talk about this because it's like it's a weird thing to talk about. It's May now, but tax season just finished up, and I ran into a five alarm fire situation where my wife's employer did not take out federal taxes from her paycheck the entire year. Yeah. Before anybody says like, well, didn't you notice it in your paycheck? And No, because like you get your pay stub, and if you just have direct deposit, you're getting paid salary. Like who's like really looking at that stuff?
I don't even really get a pay stub. Like I'd have to go log on to like our whatever.
Well, same here.
It's not like same way. I don't ever look at because I kind of had the same reaction when you first told me. I'm like, how do you not notice? But then I thought about it. I'm like, there's no way I would have noticed. So
yeah, because you just think you're getting paid. So here's the thing. And I mean, I'm sure that people that are in the know will understand more. But apparently there was some law that was passed in 2020 that you have to kind of opt in for like the federal taxes or something like that, or something. You had to, I don't know, put some sort of like specific code, or the way that you put like your dependents or whatever on your W-2 like changed. And it's like, was like the reverse of what it used to be, which is like, I mean, when in any time before 2020, like any job that you'd have, like you would never think in a million years that you would not be paying federal taxes on it, because they would just
it's automatic
happen.
Yeah,
like I can't imagine that happening. And I think that this law happened, and a lot of people that like work in HR don't know the full extent of it. And I think that people like are putting in the wrong information, or HR is just like saying like, well, I guess that they didn't put in that they want anything taken out, so nothing's getting taken out. Because it happened to me in 2021, where I ran into a situation where my employer didn't take out any federal taxes an entire year. And I had to go through all these layers of we have to use this thing called Dayforce, which like has like our stuff. You have to and I had to put in like specific like state code for them to take out the proper amount of taxes. Like afterwards, like this was never like explained to me. Like, oh, this new law makes it so that this, has to happen, because I was working for years as freelance, and I would just take money from that and put it back for taxes, because that makes sense, because that's just, you're not paying federal and state taxes on freelance work. And before that, I was like a staff job, and it was just like any job that I had before that, you never thought about it. You put your correct information on your W-2 when you fill it out when you first get hired. And that's just like, that's the way it is. But apparently this law change and it being reverse is something that I think that is anybody who's gotten a new job since 2020. I think there have people have been having problems with it. One of my wife's old coworkers that she worked with before, because she got laid off from her job in October of 2023. So we wouldn't see that difference, by the time we're paying taxes for those 2 months of the year in 2024. But when you get a whole year of it, then suddenly like you owe over $10,000 on your taxes.
Yes.
It's like an oh shit moment, right? It's like, where do we come up with this? Because I mean, I don't know, like if you don't it's hard to come up just to have that money. Yeah. If you're like middle class, right? You don't just have with 2 kids. Like, I mean, most people probably just don't have over $10,000 just sitting in savings. I mean, unless you're, making more, especially when that job that you got is, my wife took this job with a nonprofit, and it was like making half as much as she was making at her old job. Yeah. So, and then in 2022, like a whole bunch of our savings got wiped out because they happened to me. Right. And I thought that was just an HR problem. Yeah. Right. That first time I was like, oh, how could that happen to anybody else? And the thing is, like my wife got this job that's nonprofit, and I don't know who set up like her pay information, but it's probably not a dedicated HR person. Probably not. Yeah. So, I mean, how would they know that this thing happened, or like this law changed, or if this is different? They're just putting the information in as they see it on your W-2. Yeah. So I sold all this stuff. I sold like 100 games, and then I sold some other stuff, and like altogether, I probably generated around like $2,500 worth of money. And I was like, ooh, I can like use this for like I can like pay, we got like a new shower installed a couple years back. Like I can put it towards that.
Yeah.
Or I could just like, save it and do this other stuff. Nope. Like all that stuff, just like straight into taxes now.
Yeah.
It's just, it sucks to like get rid of all that stuff and be excited for a few days that you,
yeah,
that you have this money that you can spend on stuff.
It's a rug pull, as they say.
Yes, exactly that. So I mean, if anybody is like listening to this or has more information about this, or if it's happened to you,
yeah,
or if you've run into it happening to other people that you know, or if you just got a new job, make sure you get that checked out.
Yes.
Make sure that you're claiming the right amount, or that your HR person is letting you know if you're choosing not to pay federal taxes on your paycheck.
Yeah.
Like make sure that either you are or that you're not, so that you can put money back for it, because it's not a fun situation. But like I ended up selling a whole bunch of other stuff after the fact so we could generate like this money, because we just we didn't have that much in our savings.
Yeah. Well, thankfully the shelves behind you are still quite stocked.
Oh, exactly. And like the stuff I got rid of is stuff that I don't feel sad about having gotten rid of in any way. I mean, I've been, I like, there's a lot of stuff back there.
Yeah.
And, like when you look at all that stuff and you think like, oh, like 100 games from that is like not very much.
No.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I said to my wife, it's like, it's kind of nice knowing that I have a hobby though, that if we came into like some real issues.
Yeah.
Like it's like we could, pull together a decent amount of money if we needed to.
For sure.
Excuse me. But it's just the stuff that I got rid of. I don't feel all that sad about, or I don't feel sad at all. I can't even tell you what I got rid of at this point, because it just, a lot of stuff I got because, I don't know if I will regret not getting this later.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I feel like, and like I probably, since the last podcast, I've just been thinking like, I want to just like have stuff that I know that I like. And I am definitely going to prioritize playing in my lifetime, because I'm not getting any younger. And I can't sit here and be like, I don't want to have a situation where I regret not getting this, because you know what? If I was never going to go around to playing it, I will never know whether or not I would regret not getting it.
Well, you can always get something later if you want it, though. I mean,
I could always get something later. I can get it digitally for not a whole lot of money. Or you know what? If it's just something that was like all right, like I don't really care about keeping it around anyways. And I'd rather replay something that I really like.
Yeah.
That I know that I like.
Yes.
Instead, because I mean, that is something that I would like to do more, but when you have a lot of stuff, a lot of games, the chances of replaying something, it just like gets smaller and smaller every time you get something new. Yeah.
I mean, I agree with what you said. I got rid of a lot of stuff. What is this? I guess probably last year now. I don't miss any of the stuff I got rid of, and I probably couldn't tell you half the stuff I got rid of. I still have a lot, and I was just looking, because I've been going through and rearranging everything upstairs, right? And so I had to, I don't have nearly as much. I have like one shelf, not 7 like you've got there, but I had to pull everything off the shelf and then fix the shelf and move it and put it all back. And I was kind of standing there looking at it just yesterday. And I was already like identifying stuff. Like I could get rid of that. I could get rid of that. I could get rid of both of those. Like, And
it's fine. It's fine to do it. It's like you're not going to miss it.
It's just like, since I got ODEs in my, PlayStation, Saturn, Dreamcast, and GameCube, I got rid of a lot of games. And why do I need... Like, I kept physical copies of stuff because, no, I really like this game, or I really want to have a physical copy of this game for a reason. And the rest of them, I just, yeeted.
Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay that
It's better than okay. I bought some golf clubs.
Yeah.
With the money.
Well, there you go.
And other things. Hey.
Yeah. I think that's important. And it's I don't know, like, it's just so easy to lose sight of that. Like, I used to take a lot of pride in the fact that, like, I have a very curated collection, things that I like really care about. And I guess, like, slowly over time, like, of, doing YouTube stuff, you're like, oh, well, I don't know if I might need this thing for something in the future.
That's the problem.
And then that kind of overtakes your rationality or your desire to, keep things curated. And then the fact is that in most cases, anything you think like, oh, I might need this, if you don't need it immediately, then you're probably not going to need it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Can you hang on? I just got to close my window back there because it's raining out and my...
Oh, yeah.
Let me just run back here and do it.
Yeah, whatever. Maybe if I remember, I'll edit out what is now going to be dead air while he goes back there and closes his window. There you go. He's done already. He's coming back. Look at that. Look at that dad bod. There we go. We were all admiring your dad bod while you were gone.
I've lost 12 pounds.
Hey, that's awesome. I think I found him. Maybe, I don't know.
Well,
I don't have a scale, so I don't know.
I'll trade you.
Yeah.
I'll trade you 25 more.
No, thank you. Hey, I was thinking, this is like kind of the last thing I was going to mention, but I'm changing the subject again, if that's okay.
That's all right.
All right. Because this, day before yesterday, I was playing golf, and it's funny. So I was at the driving range before I started playing, just warming up, and there's this guy next to me that he, probably at least 10 years older than me. So God knows how long he's been playing golf for. But he was getting a little agitated, I guess, with his performance there at the driving range, and he was just kind of venting to me and my playing partner a little bit, my son, about like, I don't know why any of us even do this. This game's so hard, blah, blah, blah.
CG Quarterly Junior.
Yes, exactly. CGQ Junior. But then like when we were out playing, my son kind of made a similar comment, about like, oh, this game is so hard, and it is. Golfing's really hard, but it kind of made me think, I know I've told the story multiple times already about like, the kids that came over to my house and, Contra almost brought him to tears because he was so frustrated, because he didn't grow up, he grew up with, much different gaming experiences than we did just because, I'm not saying it's better or worse. It's just,
it's different.
Games are a lot more forgiving these days than they were when we were coming up, and because I just feel like, I like when a game is hard, as long as it doesn't feel unfair. I don't care that a game is hard. In fact, I like it, and I feel, I think,
and to be fair, like I like it when it's like, it's challenging, but fair, but at the same time, it's okay to like have times where you just like don't feel like that and you just want to play it on easy.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no. I'm not one of these like gatekeepy, difficulty mode snobs either. But I'm saying like, I don't mind when a game is punishingly difficult as long as I feel like it's fair. That's the important part. Because there's plenty of games that are not, they're just cheap,
Yeah.
But I feel like I approach the game of golf the same way. Like golf is completely fair, right? It's just you, right? It's just not like, I'm not out there. Even if you're competing in golf, you're not really competing. The only person you're really playing against is yourself,
Yeah.
But so I'm saying if I take a shot and it goes the wrong direction, if I slice it or I chunk it or whatever happens, there's nothing unfair about that. It's just like, I screwed up. And so like, what are you getting mad? Like, because there's people out there, they throw their clubs and they yell, and it's just like, who are you yelling at, man? Like, why are you throwing your club? It's your fault, not the club's fault.
Yeah.
But so I think that's why I like golf, is I think I approach it the same way as I approach like a difficult video game. It's like you take a shot and it sucked, but you realize, oh, this is what I did wrong or whatever, and you try not to do that again. And that's why I think the fact that it's very difficult but very fair is exactly why I like golfing.
Yeah. And it's okay to have like expectations for yourself.
Yeah.
But like you're looking at it in a way of like you're always learning.
Yes.
Like you're learning from your mistakes every time. And I mean I feel like that's why I'm not super competitive. I enjoy, like playing stuff with other people and stuff, but I never feel like I'm going to get angry if I don't perform at this like astronomical level at all times. Like it's just kind of like, all right, so let's just like learn what we can each time we play.
Yeah.
And then
exactly.
You build from that. So
yeah,
what did you tell your son? Like, did you tell your son about that?
Yeah,
you give him some
I
life
told him
lessons
that
about
exact
it?
thing. Yeah.
Was he like, yeah, I understand, or
yeah? 'Cause, I mean, he doesn't get.
Is he like, shut up, old man?
No. No, I mean, that's part of it. I mean, that's why, that this other person said that he's like your son, is we have very, very similar personalities. So like neither one of us is out there getting mad, just, he just made an offhand comment about how hard, this is just so hard, but it is.
Yeah.
But,
And
I say
the
that,
time, like
but
when I screw up, I mostly like laugh at it. I'm like, oh,
yeah. Well, I mean,
like
I've gotten mad a few times on the course, but I'm mad at myself. Like I'm like, oh man, I screwed that up. Like I knew better than to do that or whatever. I'm not trying to blame, external forces for my bad shot or whatever.
Yeah. Sounds like you have a healthy relationship with your hobbies and your enjoyments.
I would say so, but I mean, I think it helps. Like, he and I have only been playing golf now for like 9 months, and I mean, we're already, I think, doing pretty decently. So
yeah, for as long as he was in the womb.
Right. Exactly.
Do you tell him that you call him your son?
Oh, yeah, he knows.
Does he listen to this podcast?
No.
Does he know that it exists?
I think.
Should have him on sometime.
That would be highly entertaining, actually. But it would just be like having a second me.
Yeah, I mean, is he young? Like,
yeah,
I mean, obviously, he's like younger than me. Like, how is he in his 20s?
Yeah, he's like 23.
Oh wow,
that's part of it. He's literally like, if I had a son, like if I had a son when I was 24, it'd be his age.
Let's get him on here.
I'll think about it.
It'd be kind of funny.
I'll think about it.
I mean, you can just Discord in.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Skype in, but I think Skype is
that
dead
even a thing?
now.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've killed it like everything else.
We use Zoom at work.
Oh yeah. Discord's too complicated.
Well, I don't think it's really meant for professional,
That's what you say
like
now.
We have Slack at work that would be more like Discord, text.
Yeah.
But then I don't know if you can video chat on Slack. I don't really use Slack, but like everybody does at work.
Yeah.
So because we have Zoom, like we have like the university pays for Slack and Zoom. So I think we have Slack for texting and Zoom for video conferencing.
Yeah, we used to use Slack for my job, but we've switched over to Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've definitely felt pretty sick of technology lately, and I don't know. I was just it's hard to relate to like explain it to you. I guess like for me, having children who are now like getting into like things and having to set up accounts for them and then also like link them to parental accounts and manage that is like almost worse than death at this point. It's like every time somebody asks, like one of my kids asks me for like, oh, can I do this thing or can I like get on this thing? I'm usually like, no. And that comes from the fact that I just don't want to set up the account and set up all the parental controls for it.
Yeah.
I mean, every time I have to do it, I want to die.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that stuff is there, but I feel like it's there and it also like barely works. You know, like my kids, you know, like they play like most kids play a lot of Minecraft. And Minecraft, I don't know how they do it, but I feel like Minecraft and like linking it to your Microsoft account, it like is like hanging by a thread of like functionality at all times. And you would think that Microsoft would be able to get this stuff to work, but it just feels like it barely works. And everything's just too complex for its own good these days.
Yeah. I mean, I think I just can't relate to what you're talking about. So I've never played Minecraft. I've never set up parental controls. It sounds horrible. It sounds like the kind of stuff I hate doing.
It's like making an account for yourself, but then also making 2 other accounts and then having to micromanage every aspect of it.
Yeah.
And then do like 2-factor authentication. And then you got to set up like your like the whatever 2-factor program you have. Like I use Authy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, all right, you got to do that. You got to scan the QR code. Then you get the token for it. It's just like there's so much stuff all the time.
I understand why we need 2-factor authentication, but I still hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice, especially if you have like something like an Apple Watch or something like that, and you can just hit approve like right on there.
Oh,
you don't have to go find your phone.
I gave my son my Apple Watch. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh. So we can't walkie-talkie anymore.
No.
Oh. That sucks.
Well, we only did that like once, first of all.
Yeah,
like
true.
Maybe if that had been happening more often, I wouldn't have so easily parted with it. But
yeah,
I bought a golf watch, so I don't need I can only have one watch.
What's a golf watch?
Oh, dude, it's awesome. So it's like a Garmin, Garmin.
Yeah. Like they make the GPSs, right?
Well, right. So this is a GPS watch. So so it's like a smart watch. Like you can link it to your phone and it'll tell you if you get a phone call and stuff like that. But it's also got like every golf course in the world, built in.
Oh.
Well, their service doesn't. You can download it, right? So like, let's say I'm going to go play golf, right? So I go to the golf course, I hit the button on my watch, and then you just touch the screen to say play golf, right? And then it finds the GPS satellites. And then it knows where you're playing already. It's like, oh, welcome to Davis Golf Course. And then it just asks you which tees you're playing off of, right? So I just say, oh, I'm playing off the white tees. And then that's it. You get to hole 1, and it's like it says, okay, you're on hole 1. It's a par 4. And it gives you the yardages from where you're standing to the front of the green, the pin, the back of the green. You can scroll through, and it's like, here's how far it is to the front lip of that bunker over there. And then it's got like an accelerometer in it. So when you hit your shot, it knows you took a shot. So now you start walking, like I'm walking because I don't use a golf cart, walking down the fairway, right? And then there's a little number on the watch that's just counting the yardage. And then I get to my ball and I can see, I just hit my 7-iron 150 yards or whatever. And then from where I'm standing, it tells you like, here's all the yardages you got left. It's great.
Does it track can it check like the location of your ball? Like I know that would require it to have like a little.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. But you would never want, because any ball that had that kind of technology in it would be very expensive. And then you'd be very mad when you lost it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like I'm mad when I lose ball. I'm not mad. I'm just sad, really, when I lose ball. Like balls are like my little friends, and when I lose one, it's, I lost a ball I lost one ball, and it ruined it blew up that hole. Like it just got me out of my comfort zone. And kind of just ruined the round. It just like ruined the vibe. It's bright orange. How do you lose a bright orange ball? I saw where it landed. I walk over there and it's not there. Like what the H?
We should play that PGA.
Well, we especially should now, because now I got that awesome setup for it. Now I can sit in my lounge
What I think
chair.
would be kind of fun is if we just like did an episode of this podcast and did that.
Oh, while we're golfing.
When we're just hanging while we're golfing.
Because we can just shoot the breeze
I could just like record the gameplay. Because if we set it up where we just are watching each other's shots, right?
Yeah. No, we should definitely do that. That sounds like an awesome idea.
And, that would be like probably an hour and a half if we like did a full course. I mean, if we wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, I played it quite a bit at this point.
It's a pretty good
like
game.
It. Yeah.
I forgot, what is it, 2023, right?
23,
PGA,
yes.
Or it's not, it's, PGA 2K23.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're like 2K25 is out, but I can't imagine.
Oh, but I think that only came out on PS5, didn't it? I don't have a PS5.
Oh, I don't know.
That's the thing. Like I'll send you a picture, but I'll also post it somewhere so that the folks at home can see it when I'm finished setting up upstairs, when I'm finished. But it's like, it's like 90% of the way there, and I found like a nice, because my mom gave me this really nice piece of furniture that's where the TV and the stereo and everything is now. And it just had this nice little spot that's like the perfect size to just stick my PS4 right there.
Is it a PS4 like standard?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's just like, I was just looking at that and it's just like, the PS5 is just this weird looking, like, it looks like a piece of modern art, and it's just like, where would I even put that? The PS4, I don't know. I love the PS4's form factor is boring. I'll give it that, but it's very utilitarian,
Yeah, I agree.
I can stick my RetroTink 4K on top of it if I so chose.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying you should get something to take advantage of that 4K resolution that your TV is capable of. Like,
well, I'll take my PS4 and plug it into the RetroTink 4K. How about that?
Oh, you can do that. Yeah. You said you were going to do that, like with your.
Well, that was the Switch
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to see the difference. I was playing, because I did that weekend rental there of Power Blade.
Yeah.
And then somebody, I forgot if it was on Blue Sky or if it was in the comments under the video, but somebody was like, "Hey, you should check out this game, Prison City."
Oh, right. Yeah.
And
is that
so
like retroware?
It is retroware, yeah. And but I mean, it's available for like everything. But so I grabbed it for the Switch because it just happened to be on sale in the Nintendo online store or whatever. And I was just playing it. I just kind of felt like I feel like it should look better.
Yeah.
Like it looked fine. I'm not complaining, but I'm just saying, like, considering the TV, I'm like, and so it just made me wonder if it's just because of the way the TV upscales to 4K that maybe it,
Well,
it's a cool game though. I'll say that. Though. I'm
like
not my criticism is not of the game itself. It's just maybe I don't have my setup correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like from the stuff that I sent you, are you only gonna do a weekend rental of the shooter?
Well, I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'm definitely gonna do one with that one. Like that's happening. But
I'm really excited to hear your thoughts on it.
But I mean, there's some other stuff in there
gorgeous.
that looked interesting that I don't know anything about, and so it's kind of thinking, well, I could kind of do the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I made sure to only send you stuff that I thought that you would like.
No, I appreciate it. Full disclosure, though, if I may say, you did send me one game that I already had.
Which was what?
It was the Toaplan Arcade Garage game. What was that? Tiger Heli, I think.
Oh, okay.
So I lent it to my office mate because she has a Switch and she likes that kind of stuff. I told her she could have it, but she's like, well, she felt bad taking it. I'm like, well, why don't you just borrow it? And if you never give it back, that's okay.
That's fine. I mean, I got the PS4 version of it.
Yeah.
A lot of the stuff that I traded in was stuff that I had like on multiple things.
Yeah.
Like I sent you that Contra collection. I had that on.
Well, I was excited to get those because I only have the Contra collection and the Castlevania collection. I only had those digitally. So it's nice. To me, it's, I prefer having physical copies. So I was pretty excited about that. I was excited about all of it, but I'm saying.
Cool.
Yeah. Hey, speaking, so if this is all for, you're just trying to fish to get me to publicly, get down on my knees and thank you.
Yes. I mean, that's not at all what
I know. I'm joking.
Looking for. I just like looking for stuff that I thought that that you would like.
No, I know. I appreciate it
because you sent me plenty of stuff.
I know.
And just saying like, hey, you can
calm
have it.
down. We've sent each other lots of stuff. It's
yeah.
But hey, since I mentioned Toaplan Arcade Garage, that seems like a good segue to ask you if you're going to, or if you're had, or if you don't care. Did you pre-order the second Toaplan Shooter collection.
Well, what was the game they had to take out like Tiger Heli from that, or Twin Cobra or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was Twin Cobra.
Yeah, I mean, I already have
isn't that just like
release.
Tiger Heli 2? I think.
Yeah, and I mean, Grindstormer got a real release. I mean,
that's the one I'm excited about, because there's, my local video game store has a copy of Grindstormer that's been in their case forever, because they want like $350 for it or something. So I'm a lot happier to just buy a re-release from. But it's just funny because it's like, oh, it's the Toe Plan Shooter Collection 2, but now it's only 2 games. So it's not really so much of a collection anymore. Well, but you know what was interesting? I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, because now people are trying to figure out like, ooh, what happened to Tiger Heli? And then I just noticed on the Atari Age forums, there's like a separate little sub forum for the Atari 2600 and 7800 Plus systems.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then they talk about like, anytime Atari's coming out with new games, they're like, oh yeah, there's some new cartridges coming out. And Atari is coming out with, this is like a brand new game. It's a 7800 version of Tiger Heli.
Interesting.
And so I wonder if that has anything to do with.
I mean, maybe.
I just think it's odd that like whoever owns the rights to Tiger Heli couldn't manage to come to some kind of agreement with Retrobit, but came to an agreement with Atari. And I wonder if Atari had some kind of thing of like, you can't release this game on any other platform for like the next, calendar year. I mean, that's complete conjecture on my part, but I'm saying like,
because it's not getting delisted. It's like the Toe Plan Arcade Garage version of those are not getting delisted or anything like that.
Yeah, right.
So it has to just apply to certain things that are just coming out now. But I mean, is it Tiger Heli or is it Twin Cobra? Because Twin Cobra got it like a
now that you're saying that, I can't remember if it was.
I'm pretty sure that
Heli
Sega did it themselves.
Twin Cobra?
Because on the.
I think it came in a black box with the grid.
Yeah. I mean, I got it back here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it was them.
Yeah.
Themselves, but
yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing 2 different games. I'm not going to look it up.
So when Retrobit does those, I generally try to just get games that have not been localized. Like I have like Slap Fight, like sitting in my cart someplace.
Yeah,
I might get that one.
Well, I just got I don't have either one, so I just figured I didn't get the Toe Plan Collection 1 because of the 4 games. I already had 3 of them.
Right.
Like Zero Wing is the only game I don't have, so I'd rather, instead of spending money buying 4, I could take that money and go buy myself a copy of Zero Wing if I wanted to. But I have Zero Wing for the PC Engine, so
yeah,
so I'm covered.
Well, I'm thinking about the Slap Fight, but I feel like I need to play it first because
that makes sense.
The ship looks kind of annoyingly big.
Yeah. I also pre-ordered. I feel like I pre-order a lot of stuff and then it seems like I just never come. I don't know. You have to pre-order things so far in advance these days. I got I forgot who even released it. Farming Simulator for the Genesis.
Oh yeah, was that like Strictly Limited or something like that? It was doing that.
I think it might have been.
Maybe.
It just looked interesting. I was like, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if I get that, if I can turn that into like a episode of my show or something, then I got my money's worth.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll play it on EverDrive, I think.
Yeah. All right. I feel like I'm out of stuff to talk about today.
Okay. Well, hang on. We're wrapping up. My wife has to go to the elder senior prom for work tonight.
What does that even mean?
So my wife works with like elderly people, isolated elderly people.
Okay, and they're having a prom.
That's the company she works for. Is the nonprofit is
well, don't dox your
Friends
wife.
of the Elderly.
Okay,
I know,
Too late.
She works for an elder nonprofit that works with isolated elderly people.
Yeah,
like they have no family left, or
I get it. It's very sad.
Yeah. But they're having a prom for them tonight.
That's cool.
Yeah. And
I wonder if because normally that's the kind of thing I would never want to do, but I wonder if I was like elderly and isolated, if that would finally get me to be like, all right, fine, I'll go check this out.
Yeah. Well, if you don't have anything else to do ever, then I don't know, maybe that sounds like a fun outing.
Yeah.
But the my daughter is supposed to go, but apparently I just heard her yell down saying, it sounds like I'm going by myself.
Well, why would your daughter want to go to that?
Because she always has fun time. Like there's several of these like elderly people. Like she's just like really good with elderly people.
Oh, okay.
Like, she's like fun, like talks with them, jokes with them, and
yeah.
I don't know. Like she's just really sweet with them.
Yeah.
And she generally likes to go, and you know, like the elderly people like seeing her.
Yeah.
And yeah. And sounds like she's like last minute decided she doesn't want to go anymore, and now it's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
But I got to go handle that.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Yeah, but it's good to be back. I mean, I feel like we can keep it going.
Well, we said that last time, but hopefully this time we mean it.
Yeah, but
it's never the intent not to keep doing it, but you know.
Yeah.
We're adults with lives, so sometimes, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, so then are we going to say then that that's going to do it for episode 59 of Here's My Question for You. So next episode is 60. I forgot what 60, you know. Like, you know, 25 is silver and 50 is gold. I think 60 is something. Like if people get to their 60th anniversary, it's like your platinum anniversary or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know. We'll have to do a Google search when we're off the clock.
My wife and I are having our 25th anniversary this month, so I mean, we might make it to 60. You never know.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
That's big. That's big.
Yeah, it's a big one. All right. Anyway, all right, you go have fun dealing with your family drama. I'm going to go have a sandwich.
And like maybe next time, maybe 60, we should be playing some PGA Tour.
I think we should make that happen. I'm actually pretty excited about that. Let's do that.
I'm very excited about it too.
All right.
I think that this sounds like a fun way to.
Yeah.
It would be very easy to do it with my setup here.
Yeah. No. Same here. Yeah. All right. Well.
All right.
Say your thing. Right.
Yep. See everybody next time. I hope you have a good couple of weeks or a couple of months till the next episode.
Yeah. You never know.
You never know.
That's part of the excitement of the show. You just never know.
And everybody, take care of yourselves out there.
Yeah. Please do.